Welcome to another XiaoXiao commentary. This time we're doing, you guessed it, Roblox God of War. This is the first attempt that I ever made at going for a more serious line of Roblox videos. I think it turned out pretty okay when I was starting, and this is one of the first ones. You can tell this is from the old computer, back when I had just Windows Movie Maker and a really shitty computer. But I put a lot of time and effort into this, trying to show, if anything, this is what you can do with Windows Movie Maker and dedication. And you can see that you can see all the old Roblox GUI in here, and all the like they have the Comic Sans font if you look closely in the old health bar. Yeah, Roblox looked a little different back in the day. I personally miss those days. And you'll notice that you may not notice that when you get to this part, now we're back to the new studs, and in that first scene that you saw, we still have the circular studs. So this scene is the first one where I had the Blades of Chaos in action. You can see that they're not on my back when I'm not using them. That didn't come until later. And of course the zombies aren't even hurting me in the scene because I'm a cheap ass. And for the ship, I just took the ship made by Stealth Pilot and used, I can't remember his name, but some mini map maker, but I made the map bigger instead of smaller. And there I am, just using the Blades of Chaos, the very first edition, which were dual blades. Poorly made. I think they only worked in like single player, because I could only get the dual blades. The way the script worked, only could get the dual blades, and have them both out in my hands in single players, so that was a little bit of a setback, and the zombies pushed me off, of course. And I think it was like a body position, I think, something like that. I don't remember how I got the water, but oh my god, that old toolbar. Holy shit. This is a really old video, ladies and gentlemen, but and the zombies can't swim. Because I said so. And because Left 4 Dead. But I didn't know about Left 4 Dead back then. But, yeah. This is before I really knew a whole hell of a lot about building in Roblox, because you can see these are all base plates. I didn't use a giant mesh like I probably would have used today. But, no animation for the swimming. I was not as knowledgeable with Roblox as I am now. I think this is pretty cool. You see the stars, that they're really under the water, but in reality they're actually just actually under the water, but I think it kind of looks cool. It almost looks like they're just reflecting off the surface from above. But this is the first bit of online footage that I ever did in a live set. I told Mortal Penguin what to do in the in X-Fire, which is why there's no chat here. I wanted to keep it that way, but unfortunately that didn't work out very long, because here you can see the chat right over there. Quiet on the set, quiet I say. I don't know why he's getting up that close to me. And the zombies aren't even firing in this scene. Again, I'm a cheap ass, what can I say? But this is the first in the line of videos, and there wasn't a whole lot of action, to be perfectly honest. Except in that first part where I'm fighting off all the zombies. But yeah, this is my first attempt at making a serious video based on the video game God of War. And you can see that I'm pretty much ripping the plot from the game itself. Here we got the music. I used music from Roblox, from God of War 2, not God of War 1, like an idiot. And I I don't think I would call them geniuses behind Roblox anymore. Not today. Sorry to say, but that is the first video in the line of Roblox God of War. And now we go on to Chapter 2, where now the zombies are firing. I kind of scripted that myself. I think I took it from some other script or another. But the arrow that hit the guy in the last one, that was done by a player off camera. I don't know if you caught a glimpse of him. If you could, but whatever. And here the arrows actually do damage. I'm actually sort of taking this a little seriously now, and obviously all the guys in there are fake. I'm doing this alone for some reason or other. I could have done it online, but I really didn't need anybody, and I get right up to them and they keep shooting me. Arrow in my butt, arrow in my head. I showed R92 this video, and he got to this part and talking to me in the chat, and he said, nice, arrow in your head. And there's the Bow of the Dead. You will not get the Bow of the Dead in God of War. You will get Zeus's Fury, I think it is. That's your long range, and you just shoot lightning, but here it's just arrows. And I never actually got to, spoiler alert, never actually got to doing Telemon's Fury, or whatever the hell it would have been in this, so the Bow of the Dead will be my long-range weapon of choice for the rest of the series. And this is where I got it, and how I got it. I killed a zombie and took his bow, because I can. And this I decided to take Stealth Pilot's ship and just make it wood, now that they added the materials, and here's a neat little trick, just a quick little script that I did for that trapdoor. I just touch the door and it unanchors. That's it. Now this scene right here doesn't actually take place in the ship, it's actually in another set, in case you didn't already figure that out. And this is Lord Dussock, based off Matt Dussock, and this is based off Poseidon, Lord Poseidon. And this is where he talks to me about the beast, and just turning the camera around, just standing there, one of the easier to do skits. I honestly think that I did a pretty decent job with all the camera work, even though the fucking cursor kept getting in the way. And this is the very early, the first ever edition of Dussock Rage, which to this day I still think is probably one of the most fun weapons I've ever used. I believe I scripted it myself. If not entirely, I borrowed a little bit from some other script for another. But eventually I would just take the scripting from Mjolnir and just use that directly. And Dussock Rage here is very, a little jittery, as you're about to see. Because it just goes all over the place, because it's sitting there with a body position instead of C-frame, like Mjolnir does. But, it still works. It did what it was supposed to in single player. Like, a lot of these things with Roblox, even today, it was just that you have all these scripts and things that they work perfectly fine in single player, but not in multiplayer. So a lot of skits I wound up having to do in single player, and for the multiplayer skits, at some point, I don't know how or when, but I got the fixed Blades of Chaos. I had to go through so many iterations of the Blades of Chaos. You would not believe how many changes I had to make to those fucking things. Because Roblox kept updating and updating and updating, and at some point I was able to make it so that they could work and I could slash and lunge, but the current rendition, they can only slash. You won't see that yet. And in the next one, you are going to see that now, in the next episode that you're going to see, in the next video, I'm going to have the Blades of Chaos on my back when I'm not using them, so that'll be cool to see. That about wraps up this episode of the Roblox God of War commentary, and I will see you in the next episode.